I'm starting a new homebrew painting series and It Sprinkle ASMR is my first victim. Roll the music. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hammer and today I'll be starting my first YouTube video series. I got the inspiration from Jay over at Eons of Battle, where he paints a regular Intercessor Marine as a canon chapter. And my thinking was, while that is really cool and what Jay does is awesome, where the hobby really shines is homebrew. And I cannot tell you how many times I've seen an awesome homebrew online and wanted to do an entire army. So that's what this series is for. Scratching the itch of painting an awesome new color scheme I've seen and highlighting the awesome creativity of this hobby we call Warhammer. But why some random ASMR channel, I hear you say? And what does ASMR even mean? First of all, yes, I, a grown man, listen to ASMR because it helps me get to sleep. It gives my critically anxious mind something to focus on and that helps it quiet down. But why this random channel? Well, the answer's simple. It Sprinkle ASMR gave me the idea for this series in the first place. The more I thought about painting this model, the more genuinely excited I got, especially because Sprinkles, at the end of her video, asked for help designing her chapter logo. And I loved that idea. Anyway, I've rambled for far too long. As we go through this video, I'll explain some of the lore that It Sprinkles came up with. And I'll drop a few clips from her original video, also found right here, throughout this one. Here's a model that's been sitting in my cupboard waiting for inspiration. The screaming head fits perfectly with the lore It Sprinkle's going for, which I'll explain later.
We will be using pink.
Yep, that's right. So I'll be starting with a base layer of pink. Now, you'd be forgiven to think this is an Emperor's Children's successor, but in fact, it's a Blood Angel's successor.
Most of the miniature is pink.
To keep this series simple, I'll be doing all of the bases with this simple green colour airbrushed on.
A white color from the layer.
Now, what parts are we going to paint white?
I just want this middle plate white.
Of course, that sounds amazing. Now fortunately, I happen to have the exact white paint that It Sprinkles ASMR had. And even more fortunately, it's the same paint I discovered about 3 videos ago works perfectly. It's like magic and I absolutely love it. I recommend that everybody go out and grab a pot of this white paint. It's perfect.
Maybe we'll leave the circle in the middle as pink, but the rest will do white.
While It Sprinkles ASMR tells you where the white paint is going to go, I'll tell you a little bit about the lore she's created for her chapter.
I reckon maybe we'll add some white on this wrist bit.
Her chapter is called The Angels of Melody and are a Blood Angel's successor.
We can do like white here. Yeah.
The Angels of Melody sing throughout battle, creating a psychic resonance which in combination with battle worships the Emperor.
Brown color. Let's do this little belt thingy.
After painting all of the leather parts brown, I'll also be painting all the gold parts with the same brown so that it's easier to paint gold later on. Continuing with the lore, the Angels of Melody believe that the Emperor has a divine song, and that every action, whether in peace or in war, contributes to that divine song, and that chaos disrupts the divine song of humanity, and that by slaying chaos, corruption, and chaos demons, the divinity of humanity's song will be restored. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that's pretty badass. I don't think I've ever heard something like this.
A black paint. We'll do it in here, in between his armor things.
With this, I'm leaning out and experimenting. Normally I use a contrast paint, but I bought these inks to fill out an order a while ago, and I just wanted to try them out. If it works, that's great. If it doesn't, I'll go back to contrast paint.
Done. We want majority of this to be pink.
Now, in the original video, its sprinkles didn't use any silver for the gun, but instead used black. Here I'm using a gunmetal color just to ground it a little bit to make it look a little bit more real and that it would fit within the setting, and to introduce another color just so it's not the same 4 colors over and over again. The silver paint struggled to adhere to the pink just because the pink paint is a little bit glossy. Now for something that really pushes me outside of my comfort zone. I have never painted a model's face before. And yes, I know I've painted a salamander, but I don't think that a completely black face and glowing red eyes really counts. I didn't follow a specific tutorial here, I just winged it. Using a bunch of knowledge I've picked up from watching heaps of Warhammer painting videos over the years. What I didn't film here is that after painting the eyes, I went over it with the same Guilliman flesh contrast just to reduce the brightness of the pupils. I wasn't loving how the ink turned out for the under armor, so I decided while I had the black contrast out that I'd go over it and just clean it up a bit.
Gold color.
And now it's time for the gold, which painting the brown earlier has prepared us for. I'm actually a bit nervous about all the trim.
And then maybe like gold for the middle here.
I have pretty shaky hands, so if possible, I try to avoid fine details like trim, just because I know my shaky hands will just mess it up.
Should we maybe do like a gold here or something?
Unfortunately, this model has a bunch of trim, so I'm viewing this model as a real push and test of my skills to see how much I've grown.
Kinda wanna put it around like this.
And while the trim turned out to not be the cleanest and there was a little bit of spillover, overall I think it was quite good and certainly much better than when I first started. I feel that now I have a confidence that I can move forward and try stuff like edge highlighting, which honestly scares the crap out of me, but we'll see where it takes me for future videos.
Let's paint that gold color.
Now, for the same reason that I usually avoid painting trim, I usually avoid these little scrolls on the gun because of my shaky hands. Luckily, all of my shaky hands for this model can be fixed by painting over the mistakes I've made. Because for whatever reason, the white and the pink colours both just have amazing coverage.
I think we need more gold at the bottom. Let's just outline that there and see what that looks like. Oh yeah, I think I like that one better.
It was at this point I realised I forgot to paint the shoe plate brown, so I just gave it a go with the gold since it's one I don't normally use, and luckily it turned out great. After spending a few seconds to fix that mistake, I could go back and just touch up all the other areas that I've messed up. While I'm fixing this up, now would be a great time to remind you to remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Feel free to let me know any homebrew you would love to see me tackle, because there is so many awesome creators within the community that I would love to give all of them, if I can, a spotlight to shine.
Chapter symbol. I was thinking like angel wings like that. And then I was thinking like a music note. Like I feel like that looks bad. If someone can come up with a symbol that mixes music with angel wings, that would be amazing.
Don't worry, Sprinkles, I've got you. Starting off by putting down a layer of technical ard coat just to even out the surfaces, it's time to put on some transfers. For the base of the chapter symbol, I'm using this angel wing transfer I got from a combat patrol about a couple of months ago. Making sure to press out the water so that it dries nice and flat. and then making sure it sets with a little bit of micro set. This will just lock it in place and make sure that it doesn't go anywhere until it's sealed. On the opposite shoulder, I'm going to use a Raven Guard explosion symbol to represent that this guy likes his guns. Making sure to follow all of the previous steps for the last decal, just so it's set in the exact same way. Then I'm going to move on to doing a freehand, one of my first. I was originally going to use a Space Wolf rune, but it ended up breaking, so I just decided to wing it again. But I think it turned out alright, because it worked so much better than what I was planning with the rune, and I think it is perfect. So Sprinkles, I hope you like it. Then, just to seal them both in tight and make sure they don't go anywhere, and to make sure that it blends in with the rest of the model and doesn't look glossy, time to use a little bit of matte varnish before gluing it down onto the base. And by keeping it off the base and painting it on a stick, we haven't messed up the base and it's nice and clean, ready to go for a final reveal.
This is what we have come up with.
And that just about wraps up today's video. I had a blast painting this one, and it was stuck in my head for so long that I just needed to paint it. I'm hoping that this will be the start of a long-running series where I can showcase and highlight awesome creators from all aspects of the hobby and from all over the place, whether that's from Facebook, Discord, YouTube, or any other internet platform. Again, if you've got one in mind, drop it below or join our Discord where we're trying to build an awesome hobby community where we support each other and help give each other ideas. There's even a channel for Homebrew where you could even give me ideas of what to do next in this series. But that's all for now. I'll see you in the next one.